is scheduled for one fall, and it's for the Ring of Honor World Championship. This match will be fought under Ring of Honor rules. The two rules are: there will be a handshake before and after the match, regardless of the result. And there will be a 20-second count-out limit, rather than the usual 10-second count-out limit. Introducing first, weighing in at 185 pounds, from Ayr, Scotland, the challenger. He is the Champagne Supernova, Noam Dar!
You know, it is absolutely mind-boggling to me that this man is still in his early 20s, about to turn 23 next week. And Noam Dar already has been a big part of TNA's British boot camp. He then went on to be a big part of TNA's UK tour. And of course, most recently, in fact currently, a part of WWE's Cruiserweight Classic. The sky is the limit for this man, and he could go very much further into orbit if he becomes the Ring of Honor World Champion tonight.
Well, I mean, that's a fantastic point, because by getting a Ring of Honor title shot, it means that Ring of Honor consider him worthy. By being in the Cruiserweight Classic, it means that WWE, no less, consider him worthy. And by having such a high-profile title match for such an important belt, it means that WCPW obviously find Noam Dar worthy, and this guy has just got the world at his fingertips.
Just oozes charisma as well, doesn't he? Noam Dar from Ayr, Scotland, by way of Israel.
That's a long journey.
Well, he was born in Israel, raised in Scotland.
I thought you meant he got one on Ryanair and got some of the information wrong.
Well, Dar has had a lot of big moments in his young career, but if he wins here, this will be the biggest and will raise his stock even further. Very popular young man with fans around the UK, especially of course in Scotland, where he's made his name for himself, trained by Kid Fight. What a job Kid Fight did, because Noam Dar is doing Scotland proud all around the UK, all around the world, and now right here in WCPW.
But let's not forget, Dave, the mountain he must climb with the opponent that he is about to face, who's about to make his way to the ring.
And introducing his opponent, weighing in tonight at 215 pounds, from Elizabeth, New Jersey, he is the current reigning and defending Ring of Honor World Champion, Jay Lethal!
Well, if you want any more evidence of the impact that WCPW has had on the wrestling world in a very short period of time, it's unbelievable that the Ring of Honor World Championship is being defended here in this promotion so early in its life.
And you know, you think about the Ring of Honor title, Dave, and you think about men like Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, but let's not forget that this man right here is a former two-time Ring of Honor Pure Champion, the longest reigning Ring of Honor TV Champion ever, a former TNA Tag Team Champion, and a six-time TNA X Division Champion, along with being the current and reigning Ring of Honor World Champion, Jay Lethal.
A former protege of Samoa Joe, and a famous rivalry in TNA with the Nature Boy Ric Flair. He even had a bit part in the 2008 film The Wrestler. Jay Lethal is really a wrestling celebrity, and he's here in WCPW. Of course, this isn't even his first match. He's already had an instant classic here against El Ligero. That was a non-title match, but he's putting the championship on the line tonight against Noam Dar.
And Jay Lethal in the modern era is like a throwback to the great professional wrestling champions of old. You know, you mentioned the TNA feud he had with Ric Flair. Well, Ric Flair would carry his belt like an athlete with pride and travel across the globe and make defences against the very best in-ring competitors from every single corner of the world. And Jay Lethal is following in Flair's footsteps, and there could be no one better here in WCPW to get that shot than his opponent tonight, Noam Dar.
Lethal calls himself the greatest first-generation wrestler in the world. That may be true, but you hear from this crowd that in many ways Jay Lethal is stepping into enemy territory tonight. This is an away match for Jay Lethal, as this crowd hoping to see a historic title change in Newcastle.
Jay Lethal will be going for that lethal injection, which is the handspring into the ace crusher, diamond cutter, call it what you will, and also the lethal combination, which is an incredible combination which ends with your opponent taking a flatliner type move on your face. Dar, on the other hand, is going to go for that knee bar submission, and either of those two strategies could lead to one man leaving with the ROH title.
Well, as is tradition in Ring of Honor, a handshake at the beginning and end. Good to see the handshake went off without a hitch. The bell has rung. Here we go. Lethal against Noam Dar for the Ring of Honor World Championship. And it's happening right here on WCPW, Built to Destroy.
And Dave, as someone who's been in professional wrestling in Great Britain for over 20 years, you know, I was involved in Ring of Honor's first ever show in the United Kingdom. Historic, you know, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, all of these big names wrestled in Ring of Honor. And now we have the current Ring of Honor champion against the man who is taking Scottish professional wrestling to brand new global heights. And it's right here on Built to Destroy. What a moment. What a moment to be here for the opening stages of this one.
You know, you talked about so many of those guys who made Ring of Honor what it was, who built that promotion's reputation from the ground up. And, you know, there were some other veterans who came in and helped, like Eddie Guerrero in its early days. I wonder if people will look back at Jay Lethal's role in the early days of WCPW in something of the same way in years to come. If WCPW becomes the huge promotion that it has the potential to be, Jay Lethal will be one of the people who gave it that first push.
For sure, and this will go down as being the first title match of its kind interpromotional in this new promotion seen globally by so many people. What Culture is really the biggest wrestling YouTube sensation I can think of, and this is coming from a Wrestle Talk guy. You know, I started Wrestle Talk and I look at What Culture and go, my God, this thing gets bigger and bigger, and you know, it all comes down to this incredible in-ring action which we're seeing here. A roll through reversal by Jay Lethal, a head nip straight into a wrist up reversal. Noam Dar rose through, comes back, big bricks, switches round, goes under the arm, takes the wrist, and Jay Lethal backs out, nip up and a standoff.
Both of these men so versatile, such a range of skills. You're seeing the technical side of their arsenal here. They can also strike with incredible fury. They can go to the top rope. So much they can do. So many ways they can adapt their style according to the ebb and flow of the match, and that's what I expect we'll see here in the coming minutes.
And Jay Lethal, in my opinion, has become one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet today. Like I said earlier, a throwback to the greats like Ric Flair, but using the modern style of professional wrestling. This guy puts pressure on himself to be the standout athlete on every show he's on, but he's against a man who has exactly the same ethos in young Noam Dar. Roman knuckle up there.
We said with Gabriel Kidd earlier that sometimes youth can lead you to a certain fearlessness, no fear of defeat, and I think that's true of Noam Dar to a point as well. He's just utterly will not be told that there is a limit to how high he can go.
Dave, let me tell you something. I remember being told, and we're talking almost 10 years ago, somebody telling me, somebody whose opinion I respected, keep your eye on Noam Dar. He's going to be the biggest thing in Scottish wrestling. And I said, oh, I've not heard of him before. And they said, that's because he's just 15 years of age. So when he was 15 years of age, people already raving about how good he was going to be. And he has turned out to be everything that was promised. Oh, belly to back. Big, deep, belly to back suplex, centre of the ring. And that was bad news for Dar.
You know, part of that fearlessness for Noam Dar is that at such an early stage in his career, he's performed on so many big stages. He's performed as part of the WWE Cruiserweight Classic. He's performed in TNA. And that means he's just not daunted when he's in there with such high stakes as the Ring of Honor World Championship.
He really does. As someone who's got to know Noam backstage, he really does take it in his stride. You know, I started wrestling as a very young man, but there was no way that I had the confidence at like 16, 17 that Noam Dar had. And this guy, you know, he's only just getting started. Oh my God, look at this. And Jay Lethal's getting started, and it's not looking good for Dar. But, you know, you think about this. Noam Dar has almost 10 years of experience at the age of just turned 23. That's a scary prospect.
Certainly is, as Lethal continues to try and beat some of that confidence out of Dar. Goes for another early cover. And again, maybe not trying for the win here, but trying to make Dar expend some energy by kicking out.
And it's very rare that Jay Lethal has the massive height and weight advantage over an opponent. So it's going to lead Jay Lethal to wrestling a very different style of match. And that can sometimes be an Achilles heel, because when you leave your comfort zone and the thing you're most proficient at, that's when you make a mistake.
And again, it's certainly not a comfort zone in terms of fan support. Very pro-Dar crowd. Oh, goodness me. That drop kick just knocking Dar senseless, his eyes glazing over.
Wow. And you know, you talk about the confidence of Noam Dar for a young man, but never ever forget the confidence that comes with being a champion, because you know that you have to be pinned or submitted to lose that belt. Otherwise, you're going back home with the gold. And that plays a big part, because you become the man that must be beaten, not the man that has to win.
Lethal is really trying to slow this down. You notice there's a methodical pace now to this drop toe hold. See, there was a rear chin lock a minute ago as well, and Lethal just really trying to knock the wind out of the sails of the challenger.
And as a strategy, it's working, because Noam Dar looks in trouble, and who can blame him? Watch this on our replay. I mean, sliding drop kicks very rarely look that brutal, but that was brutal.
Lethal continuing the assault. It's about backbreaker, really working on that lower back, the lumbar spine area. Another quick 2 count. That must be the 5th or 6th pin attempt that Lethal has gone for. Again, just trying to wear Noam Dar out.
Well, and you know why as well, and I hate to be the one that addresses the elephant in the room, but can you imagine the issues it would cause for Jay Lethal's reputation if he loses the Ring of Honor Championship to a man who is currently performing in the WWE, in the Cruiserweight Classic? It would be the ultimate embarrassment, and it ups the stakes incredibly for this match. On the flip side, I was going to say, Dave, imagine what it'd do for Noam Dar if he could bring the Ring of Honor title back to Triple H. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but that's a big thing.
He just made the stakes even higher, I think. Running kick to the head by Noam Dar. As Dar is trying to get some oxygen flowing around his body again. Shaking off the cobwebs. And as Dar has a chance to get some offense in now, I wonder if we'll see him focus his attention on the knee to try and soften up Jay Lethal for that champagne super knee bar.
I mean, it's a very, very good strategy. And with Lethal, what you've got to bear in mind is his legs are a lot bigger than the legs that Noam Dar is used to doing that move on. So I think now, you know, it looks like he's working on the neck. A minute ago he worked on the throat. It's interesting. It's almost like he's starting from the top and working his way down.
Lethal is going to struggle to his feet here. And wow, Dar takes him back down, just twisting the neck. The taut on that neck, and now he shifts to the other way. But regardless of the outcome, that's gonna ache tomorrow.
Well, you know, if you look at Dar and his structure and his stature, it makes more sense to apply a move like this on Jay Lethal than something straight away on the leg. It's just the way nature's made them both. And that's why that turning of that neck on Lethal is something he's desperate to get out of, and he does.
Lethal
upping
the aggression.
Lethal combination attempt. Noam comes out and a kick to the knee, and there, and I mean right there, Dave, is exactly what you said. Now the worm turns and the leg is under attack.
Noam Dar with that self-belief that allowed him to not only have it scouted, but to execute on that counter.
And Lethal is feeling it now. He's feeling that he is in the ring with a man as young as he may be, is still one of the best cruiserweights to come from Europe in the last 20 years. And that's a true statement. There have been some greats. Jody Fleisch, Johnny Storm. Hell, you can call Doug Williams a cruiserweight. You can call Adrian Neville, Zack Sabre Jr. But I believe Noam Dar is also in the same league.
It's a big compliment, certainly esteemed company. Some real greats of the ring included in that list. And it is a sustained assault now on the left knee.
And the other thing you've got to remember, Dave, that wrestling for 8 or 10 years in Great Britain is like 20 years in America because of the sheer volume of shows. So you could say Noam Dar has the same experience as someone who's wrestled in the American Indies for 2 decades. And that's why Jay Lethal, look at the position the Ring of Honor World Champion's at the hands of a 23-year-old. Man, this is not good for Lethal.
Look at him clutching the knee. This could not be going any more to plan than it is for the challenger.
And I'm going to put you on the spot now, Dave. Who are you going to call? You can't say Ghostbusters. Who's it going to be?
You know, before we started here, I would have said Jay Lethal, 90% chance Jay Lethal. But on this night, in front of this crowd, seeing the confidence that's oozing out of Noam Dar, I'm picking the challenger. I think we're going to make history here.
It's a bold statement.
Are you agreeing with me?
I'm not sure if I want to go on record. I mean, I've seen Jay Lethal in some incredible defences that were very close, but the champion always brings it out. But in there with Dar, you know, I'm not so sure. I'm gonna hold on for now, but well, look at this combination. Noam Dar is just a technician in that ring. He's like a physical chess player, as Gordon Soley would say. And he's still got time to fix his hair.
Just bending the knee of Jay Lethal in directions it's not supposed to go, and then he follows it up with that just vicious kick.
And you know, when you see guys under the age of 25 wrestle, they often jump around too much, they spring about too much, and they have no strategy, no game, as you might say. But when you're watching Noam Dar, you're just so aware that you're watching a man that is literally breaking his opponent down moment by moment. He's such a tactician.
Now, earlier on, I said that the methodical pace suited Jay Lethal. I wonder at this point whether it's more suited to Dar, because it's giving Dar a chance to think in what way he's next going to torture that left knee.
And Lethal using the closed fist there, and Dar straight back to the leg, and you heard that. Look, straight to the eye, and Dar unfazed by it. Give this kid credit for toughness, because he is going knee to eye socket with Jay Lethal, and right now the eye socket's winning.
But Dar sticking to the plan. Well, he was sticking to the plan of going for that knee, but now this is just a kick fest. Dar to the rope, gets kicked in the jaw. And oh my, bounces back and turns the Ring of Honor World Champion inside out.
How good? I mean, how good is this incredible action here in WCPW? Well, Dave, just listen to this crowd.
This crowd is watching what is quickly developing into a classic World Championship match. And by the way, Alex, it's the first of 2. The WCPW World title is up for grabs later as well.
And look at that clothesline by Noam Dar on our replay, proving just how evenly matched this is. But you know what? We are so far from done, because we got more matches to come, and this match is still not finished. Look at these, face to face, stalemate. Can you believe it's a stalemate after what we've already seen?
Listen to this crowd. Are you watching Vince McMahon? I guarantee you both of these guys have been on WWE's radar for a long time and the radar of every promotion in the world.
But here they are in WCPW giving you a match that a professional wrestler can only give you every so often in their careers, and we're proud to have it here at Built to Destroy.
Now, we're reaching that point now in the match. It really is gut check time. Both of these men, I'm sure part of them would like to do nothing more but lie down in a bar full of ice, but at this moment, it's just adrenaline. That's all that's left.
European uppercut. Using the left, it's a different way of doing it. Goes for a lethal combination.
And he nailed it. He nailed all of it. Well, Lethal's not going for the pin though. Lethal doesn't think that's enough. That in itself is a mark of respect to Noam Dar.
Dave, I have a feeling we may be seeing a bit of black machismo here by Jay Lethal. If you remember him in TNA, you know what's coming.
What's he doing? Lethal?
Oh, yeah!
Big elbow. Goes for the cover, and Jay Lethal returns.
Oh, he's caught him! He's caught him, look at that! Look at that! Figure 4 from Randy Savage to the Nature Boy Ric Flair. No one does it quite like Jay Lethal.
Lethal just grabbing Dar's leg on the kick out and changing it into a figure 4. That was incredible. Will Dar tap out? Will Dar tap out? He's in the middle of the ring. Noam Dar's gonna have to give up. Look at the fight in this young man, it's incredible.
But don't forget the pressure that's been put on Jay Lethal's leg this entire match. But Dar's not got, well, he's not got the longest arms in the world, and he stretches with everything he has, and he just reaches, Dave. But how much damage was done to the legs of Dar?
And not just how much damage to the legs, but how much of the remaining energy that Dar had in the tank was used in that final effort to get to the rope.
And look at that on our replay. I mean, we spoke about Dar being a tactician, but that was incredible, and we're still not done. As we go back to live action now.
Jay Lethal charges. Dar gets that boot up. Look at Dar, he can barely stand.
Through the legs by Noam Dar, frost chop, uppercut. What's he setting up for? Forward roll, comes back in, and oh my God! My God!
Dar sends Lethal upside down into the turnbuckle. Look at this head of steam.
New champion, Dave. No, oh! My, what a match!
Noam Dar is starting to believe that he can do this. This crowd is starting to believe that Noam Dar could do this.
Dave, I'm starting to believe that it's gonna happen. I mean, Noam Dar is giving the performance of his life. I mean, of his life. What a match here at Built to Destroy.
There are certain nights in professional wrestling where everything falls into place. There's a certain magic in the air, and this may be one of those nights if your name is Noam Dar.
And Jay Lethal's not moved. Look, he has stayed on the apron. I think it was holding his nose, and he looks almost unconscious. Dave, I can feel almost a seismic shift happening in this one.
Yeah, but Dar's got to get him back in the ring though, hasn't he? If he wants to win the title, he's got to win it in the ring. What's he doing?
This looks not good.
Lethal trying for a suplex.
But Lethal's got hardly anything left in the tank.
Or Noam Dar. Precarious situation for both champion and challenger. Lethal, that knee into the stomach, into the ribs. Forearm by Lethal, and Dar is back in. Oh! And again on the knee,
I mean, Jay Lethal desperately needed something there to turn the tables, and it didn't quite happen. Moves out the way there. Oh no!
Well, that's a variation on the lethal injection. And Dar went face first into that hard floor at ringside.
And I'm telling you now, as a former professional wrestler, you can hear the story about when Jake the Snake Roberts hit the DDT on the outside on Ricky Steamboat and knocked him unconscious. And you see there on our replay, his head bounced off of that concrete floor like a rubber ball.
The only very, very slight consolation for Dar is that in a Ring of Honor Championship match, the count is 20, not 10. Otherwise, I would say there is literally no chance of the challenger getting back into the ring. Even so, even with a 20 count, the chance has got to be infinitesimal because Dar is unconscious.
Yeah, he's not moved, man. What an epic back and forth confrontation for the Ring of Honor World title, and right now the champion is the first man back in the ring, and from what I'm seeing, he may be the only man back in the ring. Oh,
Dar is moving,
but look at the way his body's twisted, Dave. He's out.
You know, even if he does get back in the ring, it's going to be easy pickings, isn't it?
I'm actually really worried about Dar because he landed face first on a concrete floor and he can hardly stand. We need to get some help from Noam Dar.
We're up to 19 now, 1 second left and Dar is in! Dar is in! How did he do that?
But at what cost, Dave? At what cost? Because Jay Lethal's setting up for the lethal injection. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my God!
Champagne Super
My
Neva!
God! Where did that come from? And he's got him in the centre of the ring! My Lord!
It's a moment in history! A moment in history! Lethal's gonna tap! Lethal's gonna tap!
We're gonna see a new Ring of Honor World Champion. Did he tap? My God! Oh, he's gonna tap!
Lethal is writhing in agony!
Oh! He knows the ramifications, the implications if he taps out to that.
The only way he could get out was to turn it into a pin.
Lethal injection! Oh! He hit him!
No! No way! Cover!
Oh,
that's two!
Lethal retains, my God!
What a match! What a match!
Ladies and gentlemen, and still Ring of Honor World Champion,
Well, if there was any doubt in the minds of anyone what WCPW was all about, you can have fun, you can have games, but the name on the marquee is professional wrestling, and right there you saw the very best professional wrestling you can possibly see anywhere on the planet, and it happened in a WCPW ring, but it was with that lethal combination that Jay Lethal retained the Ring of Honor World Championship and built to destroy. What a match!
And how fortunes can change in a matter of seconds in this crazy world of pro wrestling. It looked like to all the world that Jay Lethal was going to tap out to the Champagne Super Neva and Noam Dar was going to make history in Newcastle. But just a few seconds later, after the lethal injection, Lethal retained the Ring of Honor World Championship. Lethal offering the hand to Noam Dar, and Dar accepts it. What an honour, Alex, what a privilege to call this Ring of Honor World Championship match here tonight.
And what a moment, because we have seen two of the best in the world giving one of the best performances of their entire careers, and we're still not finished.
The WCPW World Championship will be on the line before we go off air tonight, but it's going to have a hell of an act to follow. Jay Lethal retains the Ring of Honor World Championship.
What? It's Drake.
Why is Drake here? What is Drake doing?
Well, I mean, we know that he's trying to impress prospects, and I guess what would be more fitting of grabbing attention than taking out the Ring of Honor champion, but Lethal's back.
Yeah, Lethal's exhausted. This is ridiculous. Drake is going to the top.
What's he doing? Lethal's just given the match of his life, and oh no!
What is Drake doing? Talk about ruining the moment.
Look who it is.
James R. Kennedy. Looking impressed. He said that Drake was a potential prospect, but he had to prove himself. Well, there are very few ways in which you can make a name for yourself more than mounting an assault on one of the most famous professional wrestlers in the world.
Talk about capitalising on an incredible moment that was created by two other people. Drake, give him all the credit in the world, because as great as that match was, he has just made himself the exclamation point of a worldwide classic.
Well, Drake walking backstage pleased with his day's work, but his day's work pales in comparison to the effort that man, Jay Lethal, and his challenger, Noam Dar, put into this remarkable Ring of Honor World Championship match. And Alex, as you said, this is what WCPW is all about.
And we're back. I'm Kenny here at What Culture Pro Wrestling, and I'm joined by one of the most exciting teams and partnerships here in WCPW. It is Joseph Connors and Joe Hendry. We've got the match coming up tonight with Prospect. What can we expect?
What can you expect?
Sorry. I just want to say, Joseph, I just want to address what people have been saying. I feel, I recognise, I don't see it when I'm doing it myself, but I've been talking a lot. I've been kind of, taking the shine off you. You let me do my thing, and I didn't really let you do your thing, so I get that, and I appreciate that. So I think now, not from the start, but from now in this interview, I think you should do the talking, man. It's your turn.
Okay, I appreciate that. Let's talk about the business at hand, okay? Lucas Archer.
You deserve it.
Lucas Archer, Alex Gracie. I'm no stranger to either of you.
No stranger.
You two are two of the hungriest athletes on this roster.
Hungry hippos.
I know just how good you two are. I had a hand in your training. I've talked about how good you are ever since you stepped into a wrestling gym.
He did say. Can't say he didn't. Sorry.
But you made the biggest single mistake you two will ever make when you jumped me from behind like two cowards.
Cowards. And that's something you just don't do.
The odds were in your favour back then, but as you can see, the odds are now in our favour, because when myself and the local hero Joe Hendry team up, just like we did to Prince Amin and Gabriel Kidd, this tag team is going all the way.
All the way. And can I just say before, that was fantastic. I should have done that more often. But the other thing is, I realised, my musical entrances and things like that, that's becoming a big deal, and I thought, it's not really fair if you've got your entrance music, which is great and all, but then I've got my entrance music, which is like, pretty much the greatest thing anyone's ever seen. So, the right thing to do, how about we have custom entrance together for the team? And it can be 50% me and 50% you. How about that?
You got us some custom entrance music.
Yeah,
just
you
like
trust it. Yeah. You don't need to even know about it. 50-50, 50-50.
50-50.
Absolutely 50-50.
That's what this tag team is all about, right?
It might even be more about you than it is about me. But I've got it ready. You just need to trust me. Wait till you hear it.
I can trust you? Okay. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Okay.
There you have a united partnership here in WCPW. Back to ringside.